What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the Star Wars MTT. Now, this is actually a really interesting build to me. It's not a very common Star Wars build, but I thought it was really well done. It was really, really good. It doesn't actually require any mods, though it does recommend the Star Wars weapon mod pack, which you can see here has the laser cannons on the front, or whatever they're actually called, turbo lasers? AAT cannons, okay, or that. I was close. So yeah, that's the only required mod. The rest of it is vanilla, which I found very impressive, because it's a really weird shape to try and get to work vanilla, but it does. Now, it does recommend returning off engine damage, which I believe I already had off. I'm not positive, but I think I already had that turned off. And at first I thought I pasted this in incorrectly, thinking it was a ground-type vehicle, which it kind of, sort of is, but since the ship itself in the Star Wars verse is a hovercraft, it's using internal atmospheric thrusters to keep it afloat. So I thought I pasted it in wrong, and it was pasting it like a space station that wasn't affected by gravity and whatnot. Not so. So yeah, overall though, I really think the exterior design and stuff is super cool looking, and it even has, I'll admit I don't know how to get in here. I haven't seen a door anywhere. Now, my Star Wars knowledge tells me that this should open, and I've seen the screenshots of it opening. Now, where the control panel is and all that, I'm not really too positive. Ah! Here we go. So this is one of those ships that, it seems to be that it doesn't have an interior, really, which makes sense. We have the cannons, front delay door, rotor lock, okay. Units deployer, oh, okay, so that's the piston to extend the container thing. I don't know what it's called. I guess it's a unit deployer. We have a connector that's probably on the back, the battery, and the hydrogen tanks. Alright, so let's see. So the lock looks like it's off, so we should be safe to open. So that works pretty much like it should from the movie. And then we've got the deployer thing. Now this is kind of cool, because I was curious what they were going to do with this. And it's just passenger seats. So if you had like I don't know if there's any mods that do AI-controlled player models or anything like that, but if you had anything like that, or just if it was on a multiplayer server and you had a lot of players or something, you could actually have a bunch of people attached to that if you wanted to, which I thought was pretty clever. But as you can see, let me grab my spectator camera here, and as you can see, the interior is pretty much just this. There's no real other stuff going on. It's just the inner guts of the ship, the different tanks, the thrusters to keep it afloat, hence why the engine damage needs to be off, or thruster damage, to make that work. And then we've got basically the main piston extender, the extension point here. So it's a fairly small vehicle overall in terms of the scale-wise. It's not like there's a whole lot inside that you can mess around with, but overall I thought the exterior design and the mechanical part being kind of pretty much on point with how it was in the movie. I thought it was a pretty cool design idea. And then we've got the iconic cannons. I love the sounds of all the Star Wars guns, they're cool. Alright, so then we can close that down and lock it. We'll test the drivability. Now, being a hover vehicle, I'm not really sure how it's going to drive as far as keeping to the horizon and stuff like that, or if I can actually... Looks like I can rotate it a little bit. I don't know if it's on any kind of autocorrect script type thing to keep it aligned, or if it's actually like a flying vehicle in disguise. I think it's a flying vehicle in disguise, actually. Which is pretty cool. I'll admit, it'd be neat to figure out either through sensors and scripts how to make a legit hover vehicle that would stay X amount of feet off the ground, or meters or whatever. But this does look pretty cool, just kind of hovering over the ground. I think it's pretty neat. What I was kind of meaning by the script thing would be something like Empyreon, how it has the actual hover engine that basically just hovers at a set distance off the ground. I think that would be kind of cool for them to either implement or somebody to figure out a way to do it. I imagine it could be done with sensors and script mechanics and like thruster controls or something, but it may have already been done too. But anyways, I thought it was pretty cool, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, so next on our list is the TIS... Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. There it is. Stalwart. I knew it. I knew that. Didn't have to look it up at all. This is actually a pretty cool ship, though. It's kind of reminds me a little bit of like a B-Wing-ish, sort of, from the Star Wars. I swear this isn't a Star Wars episode, but it has a couple of different elements that are reminiscent. Now, this actually does have quite a bit of mods in it, but it is a world file, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. And the mods are also listed on the workshop file if you wanted to convert it to a blueprint. So we have a little bit of an instructional here. How to lift off. Rotate the platform using the button next to this panel. Check. Oh, that's cool! I've never actually seen one of those in-game before. It's like a rotating landing pad. How come nobody's done that before? Or there probably has been somebody that's done it before. I just haven't seen it. Alright. Board the ship, close the cockpit, enter the flight mode, unlock landing gears, activate dampeners, deactivate artificial mass blocks, slightly gain altitude, retract landing gears, fly it off the hangar. That is a lot of things to list, and I'm probably going to screw half of them up. Oh, geez. Alright, so first of all, I want to kind of take a peek at the ship overall. I like the kind of greeble design. I mean, that should come as no shock to anybody who's seen more than, like, 3 of my episodes. But I really like the kind of exposed guts kind of look on the exterior we've got going on here. You've got, like, the hydrogen tanks and the power reactors and all that kind of stuff. And I like the solar panel positioning. It's kind of interesting. I haven't seen that before. I'm kind of hoping that this... It does have the hinge mod, it looks like, so I'm kind of hoping that they extend out into more of a wing. That would look pretty cool. Or at least that top one, because otherwise it's not really making any use, so I would imagine that would be the case. Oh, and there are rotors on here. I, for some reason, didn't see them, even though they're brightly orange colored. Anyways, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that it's like I said, it kind of reminds me of a B-Wing, but not quite. Like, it's got its own interesting design to it. Unfortunately, there isn't as much of an interior as I typically like to explore, so this will probably be a little bit of a short walkthrough. Yep, we're done. Now, one thing I find interesting is this setup. So, obviously, like I said, being modded, this is using one of the azimuth flight seats, which has a conveyor port on the back. But it's a very creative use of the pistons to have it kind of free-floating. It's kind of interesting. And I don't think... You know, you might actually be able to do that in vanilla some way. It would probably take some more finagling, but that would be kind of cool. Alright, so let's see if we've got all this organized. Open, close, retract landing gears... Extend, retract. Okay, we don't want to use those yet, I guess, unless I turn them off first. Extend solar panels. Don't want to touch that yet. Batteries, hydrogen, flight mode. Okay. Unlock landing gears, artificial mass block, and Gatling gun. So actually fairly simple. There was a lot on that list, but it's all pretty much right here. So first thing, we'll close the... Oh, it extends. That's why it's on a piston. I feel like I should have seen that coming. I gotta try that again. Oh, that's cool! I really like that. You guys know me. I like spinny mechanical things. That's pretty slick. I like it. And the panel readouts are like right here, which is cool. Now, the only thing is I can't quite tell, but I'm not sure if this is completely sealed or not. I don't think it is, which is probably why the piston is connected through the back port and you can supply the pilot with oxygen that way. Alright, so... Now this is kind of interesting. It's saying to extend, retract the landing gear. Oh, it's probably on a timer, okay. So we'll do that. Oh wait, no. This is the button controls. I shouldn't have done that. This is just the control mode. This isn't the list. Alright. Alright. We can do this. Landing gears. Okay. Flight mode? I feel like I should have pushed that. Changed up things a little bit. That's okay. Okay. Unlock. Turn off mass block. Can we fly? We can fly. Hey. Oh, and dampeners. Gotta turn the dampeners on. A little bit of altitude. I don't know why I can't get into... There we go. I couldn't get into the third person camera. There we go. There we go. Alright, cool. Did I extend or retract them? I don't think I did. 2. Ooh! Ooh! That's like a transformer. Oh, if I have time and patience, I'm gonna add in the transformer sound effect right there. That is awesome. I love it. Alright. For flying around and stuff, it actually moves really good. Oh, I don't have that hydrogen thruster on. That would probably help. There we go. There we go. Now we've got some get up and go. Yeah, it actually moves really nice. I like it. And probably shouldn't do this while flying, but what the heck. Ooh. I like this ship. It's exciting. No, it's really cool though. Especially like you could kind of angle it and point it right at the sun type of thing if you needed to charge up your stuff, and then it would just fold up. That's really cool. So if I do 2, 3, aha! It's like a transformer. I love it. It's awesome. Alright, so let's test out... Wait, where are the weapons? There was weapons on here a minute ago. I thought. Maybe not? Maybe not. Maybe that was... Was that part of the station? Did the station have chain guns? Maybe? Either that or I broke something off while trying to, get out of the station. I don't know. But yeah, I really like it. It's really cool. It's very, very detailed too, and it works and flies really nice. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one. Again, I normally like doing more thorough and bigger ships because it gives me more time to walk through stuff, but with smaller ones, there's just not that much to walk through. So, but overall, yeah, really like it. So let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, so last but not least, we have the THCO Omega Class Leviathan. Now, this, like I said, not a Star Wars episode, but it is heavily inspired by Star Destroyers, as is most triangular pointed ships at this point, I think. I'm pretty sure most everyone designs ships that way off thinking of a Star Destroyer. I mean, let's just be honest. But yeah, so it is a world file, so you shouldn't have to worry about mods. There's a blueprint version of it, and it only requires 2 mods, I believe. However, they're not really required. There's just one for weapons and hanger shields, so if you didn't mind the shields being missing and adding your own weapons via vanilla or something, it would easily be a vanilla ship. With that said, I have to point out a mistake on my part, in that I thought one of the most interesting, I can't talk today, intriguing and interesting, got blurred, let's move on. One of the most intriguing parts of this ship was from the screenshots I saw. I thought this white strip was hollow, like it was completely hollow in the middle, and I thought that's really cool. And when I pasted it in, I realized it was actually just indented and a stripe, which is still cool, but it was a little bit of a screw up on my part that I was like, oh, that's really cool, and it wasn't actually a thing. Some of these weapons, though, are definitely a thing, and they are awesome. I've been a little bit out of touch with some of the mods and stuff lately, so some of these weapons I don't recall seeing before. They look really incredible. Now, obviously we have these hangar areas, but I'm still kind of looking for a door. I mean, it's par for the course. But what I'm really doing, if we're all being honest, is I'm giving you guys a much more thorough chance to admire the exterior and the designs of the ship. It is not solely to buy time to find a door, because that would be silly. Plus, I know that there is a door somewhere, right? Alright, there's a door around here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. Aha! I have found the door, and before you say anything, no, I didn't have to place a cockpit down and go into the controls of the ship and open the hangar door. It's just it's a door that I just didn't see before. Moving right along. Now this one is a little bit dark on the inside. Just close that. But it does have a cool mood to it. I do like the atmosphere of the lights, but for video making it is a little bit tough to see what's going on. So I'll probably be flipping them on and off here and there so you guys can see both. I do like this touch. This isn't something I've seen very often, but this glass between hangars is a cool idea that I really don't know why we haven't seen more of that, because that actually is pretty neat. I like it. Alright. So here's the main corridor, and no, I don't seem overly familiar with this because I flew through here in spectator mode looking for a door. That's not what happened. But this is, I just so happen to know, because there's signs. See, the signs tell you that these are the other hangars that we saw through the windows and on the outside where all the different corresponding hangar doors are. Which is pretty cool. Oop, cool. Let's see, what else do we got? Then we go into the main corridor type area here where we have storage and reactor rooms, which is pretty cool. Again, very cool ambiance. Though, like I said, I do like the black colored ships, and then you can have colored lights and things which make it a little bit more moody, especially if you're going for a villain vibe like this, like an Imperial kind of ship or something like that. But it does make it a little bit hard to see what's going on here and there. Actually, I have to admit, some of these areas, like this one, that have this really strong purple glow with the black and gray, really gives me a Decepticon vibe, honestly. Like, I'm kind of waiting for this ship to transform into a robot or something. That would be kind of cool. Because it does kind of... This theme type area feels very Decepticon-esque. Probably because of the gray, black, and purple. You know, that was always kind of a thing. And again, we've got this really cool hallway. Now, I do like this style, that the lights are on the edge of the interior walkway, or interior wall blocks. Then you got the solid blocks to give this kind of almost trim or railing kind of look. And then these slope blocks or ramps. That might be a base ramp, actually, 2x1 base ramp, to give it kind of that inward hexagonal or kind of pyramid type shape. Pretty cool. We got the production room over here, which is definitely a production room. Holy crap. That might be... Hold on. Ah! H2O2. I got it backwards. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't refineries. This is all oxygen and hydrogen stuff. So I got quite a few of them. Should be adequate, I would hope, for a ship this size. And now we have the production room, which I have to admit I really like. I like the... I don't know why, but I'm always very partial to that amber yellow glow kind of lighting in the industrial production engineering kind of rooms. So this works really good for me. I like it a lot. Let's see what else we've got to work with. It's further down the hall. We have a med bay over here that branches off with our cryo chambers and our medical bays. And let's see. Spare room is, as the name implies, empty for you to make with it what you will, I suppose. Hence, spare. And then this is the jump drive room, which is a very cool looking room, I must admit. Now, one cool little trick here that I think is neat is using the white blocks, or at least I think that's white, and then casting the blue light down. It kind of makes the stripe almost look blue, which is kind of cool. I think that's a white colored block anyway. But yeah, so here's your kind of readout and stuff, as well as the jump drives, which is a pretty neat way to lay it out. I also like them kind of being inset into the wall. And then this just kind of dead ends at the end here. So we'll go back down the hallway and get back up to the bridge and check out the bridge area. As I said, there are a few different areas with different weapon type things. Like there's a couple of cannons in the nose, which is where that dead end at the hallway kind of leads into, as the conveyor inner guts of the ship kind of thing that connects all the different stuff, including the nose cannons. And that kind of stuff you'd have to watch for if you decided not to use mods, because it wouldn't have that, obviously. Alright, so what are we looking at here? We've got Teleon dual batteries, which I have never played around with before. Cameras, or a camera, anyway. Forward, back, stop. Now this, I believe, if I read the screenshots correctly, is for the gravity drive, which it does have a gravity drive, which I think is awesome. Extra thrusters and regular thrusters, it looks like. Jump drive controls and hangar controls. Doors, and that looks to be about it. Now I'm kind of curious as to where, unless these are the nose cannons. They are the nose cannons. Okay, so the other ones down here are a turret, I would imagine. I don't know what this does, but man, that sounds devastating. Wow, it takes a long time to reload, too. Oh, I see. It's because it's both barrels. Wow. Alrighty. So for the gyroscope type controls, it actually moves pretty good. I was not expecting it to move that well. And yeah. Deceleration is a little on the slower side, but acceleration and turning and all that, it actually moves really nice. Now, let's play around with these guys. So yeah, that's the gravity, I believe. Which is pretty cool. I do like gravity drives. I think that's pretty cool. They're a lot of fun to me. Especially if you're trying to keep the damage of the thrusters to a minimum or something. It's a pretty cool way to do it. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to probably have a bit of a break on these for the reverse engineers, as next week's reverse engineers I think is going to be a part 2 on the Apollo, because everyone seemed to want to see more of that. So I may not list the poll here, but if you really want to see one of these reverse engineers maybe after the Apollo or something, feel free to leave it down in the comments and I will take that into consideration. But as well as, I think I'm going to change up the reverse engineers slightly to open up submission type things where you guys can comment on the comments of the reverse engineers episodes if you guys have like your own builds or something you'd like kind of dissected, if you will. But I'll go over that a little bit more, I think, in the next reverse engineers episode. But for now, I think we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.